Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Corporate Face to Face series. Friends, in these corporate face to face series episodes, we introduce to you emerging companies from emerging sectors and make it a point to talk to the top promoters and the top managements of these companies. Basically, we try to get information about such companies, about their business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans, and in this process we get a lot of valuable information from the promoters and the top management. And friends, in fact, today we have got a very interesting company which is going to hit the capital market very soon. The company's name is BulkCorp International Limited, and we have the privilege and pleasure of having the top management team as well as the promoter. We have Mr. Puneet Gopalka, who's the managing director of the company. Puneetji, thank you very much and welcome to the show for sparing your valuable time with us today. And we also have Mr. Sanjay Sadavate, who's the executive director and the CEO of the company. Sanjay ji, welcome to you also, and thank you very much for sparing your valuable time with us today. Puneet ji, first question which I want to ask you is a very elementary one. If you could please tell us, what is the broad business model of our company, and what are the products the company makes? And in terms of the positioning of our company, because I observed from the prospectus that we have got a very large exposure in the export market. Of course, we supply to the domestic market also. So if you could tell us, what is the positioning of our company in the export market, and if you could tell us a little bit about the business journey about this company, how did this company get formed? Was it a family owned business or was it a first generation business? So if you could please share your thoughts.
Sure, sure. Thank you, Avinash ji, for giving us an opportunity. Let me start with sharing a little bit about the business journey. So basically, I have been educated in the India for undergrad in the Bachelor of Commerce, and then I did my master's in UK in Scotland. And after studying in UK, I worked with multinational companies for almost 9 years in Europe, and then I moved to India in 2010. So when I moved to India in 2010, I joined the family business, which was already into manufacturing of FIBC bags, but it producing food grade FIBC bags. And that is the reason why in 2016, we decided to set up a company, which is BulkCorp International. And the reason for that is that we got that facility certified for BRC, because in order to cater to the food industry, you have to have a certain kind of certification, which you can only cater if you are certified with BRC kind of certification. So we got the BulkCorp certified in 2017 after the inception in 2016. And since then, we are catering to food industry, and all the value added product that we manufacture in BulkCorp is all catered to the top end customers globally.
Okay, understood.
So this is a little bit about our company.
Okay. I think nicely articulated, Puneet ji. Sanjay ji, and the next question to you is, sir, if you could tell us on the operational side, since you are the executive director, sir, what are the various products within FIPBC which the company makes? I saw that there are 7, 8 varieties which we make, but typically, is every category or every product which you make, is it a niche, custom made kind of product which is given to the customer based on their requirements? If you could, tell us something about the products the company makes, and which are the segments, which are the industry segments broadly, as Puniji was mentioning, the food segment is the largest segment, but are there any other segments also which the company caters to? If you could please share your thoughts.
Sure. Well, there are many types of bags that we see that comes to the market, and that go to a different industry segment. What we basically focus is on the food grade bags as well as the 5D chromic bags, which goes to a heavy chemical industry. So these are the two types of bags that we mainly focus into. So the BRC food grade bags go into the lot of food packaging industries like cashews, pista, nuts, rice, for example, and 3M coffee. So wherever there is a bulk handling in this kind of product that which is required, like a big bags, so that is sector that we for the food grade bags. So as the type C chromic bags, so we have a license from one of the company from the US. Very few of the companies have this. So with this license, we have a special product which we can make the type D bags that goes into heavy chemical industries.
Okay, so basically, these are the category of bags which company specializes in. Now, Punitji, one macro question. Since you have started the company, you understand this market very well. Tell us one thing, sir. What is the opportunity for FIPBC bags in the overall global markets as well as the domestic market? Sir, market size kitna bada hai? I mean, without giving some specific numbers, if you could just share your view, how is the demand in the next 3 to 5 years going to emerge, and how, as a company, are we going to capitalize on this growth? Because I believe this is a technology advanced product. It requires a certain
Correct.
degree of technological excellence. So, sir, what is your thought process? अगले 3-5 साल में market कितना बड़ा हो सकता है, and how will our company capitalize on that?
Sir, if I give you a brief overview about the market size, because I mean, I'm also part of the FIBC Association, which is the world's biggest association based in USA, and I have been the president of that association,
Yeah.
the very first Indian person to be president. And look, being in that position, I get opportunity to interact with people in different categories in different parts of the world. Looking at and interacting with all these other people, what we understand is there is a 5.6% CAGR of growth that is expected in FIBC industry globally. And we being in this industry for almost over 14 years with our group company and BulkCorp together, we have access to that market, and me being in that position, being part of the board of association of the world's biggest FIBC association, we have a visibility, among that market, which is globally. So in that perspective, we are already getting a lot of, traction in terms of providing this product in the global market.
Okay, understood. Punitji, now just wanted to understand that in terms of the product being superior in terms of their technical expertise. Tell me one thing: are there any certification norms? You said that you need to be certified if you want to produce food grade FIPBC bag. But apart from that, is there a normal kind of certification process with the B2B customer, specifically export companies? Export customers have got various quality norms. They look at ESG, they look at a lot of other things. So is there a long process before you get into these export customers? I mean, is it a very challenging task? Initially when you probably must have started, it must have been a long drawn process. So how does this industry work? Is it a combination of networking, whether people know you from, let's say, from a long time, so they know that XYZ company has been operating? So is it a combination of networking and technical expertise which actually works in our business to increase our business?
So it is, as you rightly said, it is a combination of both networking and technical expertise. So if I give you a brief background, that Sanjay is also worked with the world's topmost FIBC companies outside India, in Vietnam, and in China, and other countries. So he also gets a lot of expertise from those companies. And when we set up BulkCorp, our intention was to set up a world standard facility in India. So with his expertise of having running the plants in different parts of the world, we use that expertise along with my networking skills, which is with the connects that we have got already in global level. So combination of both of these, we have used that to our advantage to create a world-class facility in India. And that is what we are getting benefit in terms of the businesses.
Okay, understood. I think nicely articulated again, Puneet ji. Sanjay ji, now tell me one thing which is very important is that when you tackle B2B customers, export customers, how is the normal pricing worked out with these customers? Is it a standardized kind of structure where this is my raw material cost, this is my margin? Is it a fixed price contract? Or assuming that certain times you sign a contract, but afterwards raw material prices go up. Now, in such cases, do you have some flexibility to increase the selling price? Because finally, polypropylene is your main raw material. I mean, as everybody is aware. So typically, how does the pricing work for us, and how favorable is it in our favor? Like, are we having a certain degree of pricing power, or have we got to follow what the customer finally tells us? If you could please share your thoughts.
We work with the long-term contracts with the customers. We do have some customers who have orders running for months and months. But we do have a formula and understanding with them. Whenever there is a fluctuation in the pricing, we just pass on this pricing to customer, and customer is very well about the pricing of the PP, which is connected to the some gas, So whenever we have these kind of fluctuations, we have to sit with them to adjust the pricing level.
Okay.
And there are some customer who wants like a spot buying price. So depending on the customer demand. So in that point of time, whenever we have this kind of offers with them, so whatever the raw material price at that point of time, we work out the price accordingly and then.
Okay, no, understood. Sanjay ji, now a very pertinent question which most investors would like to ask you. Sir, what is the competitive intensity in our business? Like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that there is only a select group of FIPPC companies which make these kind of bags in India. There are not many companies, it's not a mass product. And secondly, sir, if you take out the financials, see, financials, all of us are aware. But in terms of qualitative assessment, Sanjay ji, you have worked abroad, you're now working in this company, you know the quality parameters which we follow. Sir, what is the qualitative difference between our company and the other companies in the same industry? How do we add value to the customer? And how do we ensure that the customer comes back to us again, he's happy with our product, our service, our execution? So, if you could just share 2, 3 qualitative points which can highlight the positives for our company and, help our, investors understand your company better.
It's a good question because see in India, most of the companies, FIBC companies, they are more focused on the industrial grade, right? It's a very standard product that goes to the industries which is cement and mining. What we focus is on the food grade and heavy chemicals industry. This is very expensive product. So definitely customer wants to understand the technology making this FIBC, the expertise of these bags, the process of this product. So our specialty is that first of all we have a super hygiene plant which makes this food grade bags because we have to follow a stringent requirement, which is not only the India but the international standards. As we say that we got a BRC certificate. What basically the customer expect from us is that the product has to be super clean, super hygiene because it goes to the food industry, and also it should meet the international standard. So whenever, for example, it goes to the heavy chemical, there are some products which can, explode. They have very explosive materials to be packed in that bag. So these bags has to be passed as to the UN regulations. So we make these bags as per the UN regulations. So all these kind of standards should be known to the factory and the expertise to make these bags. So this is our specialty because being in this industry for so long and have served many big companies like this. So customer knows and they want to understand if we follow the standards, if we have the right facility, right machinery in the place, and based on that, we design this bag. And
Okay, no, understood. So basically, these are the qualitative kind of positives which we enjoy, and that is the reason customers, patronize our products. I think good to know, Sanjay ji. Now, Sanjay ji, on the financial side, small question, like, we have seen a very strong top line growth in FY24. Profitability has also improved. Tell me one thing, Sanjay ji, what has been the main reason for this improvement, both in terms of top line growth, profitability also has improved significantly. First, what is the reason for this upsurge? If you could just, give us some inputs on that.
Yeah.
And can we
I'll
expect,
take a-
this improvement to get sustained in the current year? Although, now we have started FY25 without giving numbers, for obviously compliance purpose. We don't want numbers, but at least if you could tell us, in a very broad way, can we expect that these margins or this, demand which we have seen, in these numbers, will it be sustained for the current year also? So if you could please share your thoughts.
I'll take up this question,
Yeah,
Avinash ji,
yeah,
if that's okay. So basically, in the last couple of years that you have seen the growth in the company. The reason for that is mainly because of the value-added product that we have, added in our portfolio, and we have been able to get a lot of good customers with the better margins. And that is something which is really added to our, growth in the last couple of years' time. And going forward, we are anyways focusing more and more on increasing our production in terms of catering to the value-added products and those kind of customers. So that is what our focus is, and that is what our future goal is going to be.
Oh, oh. No, understood. I think so. Very ideally mentioned that, basically, large customer orders, from the food grade business have increased, and that has got reflected in numbers. Punitji, now the most important question, which, if you could help us in answering, we are now going public. I think whatever efforts, you and your team have put in, I think you all are going to see the rewards very soon. Sir, tell us what is the objective of this, capital market offering we are going to make, and what is the total size of the funds which we are planning, and where will this money be utilized? If you could just broadly tell us the corporate objectives, so that we can understand the IPO better.
Sure. So what we are raising is around 22 CR, in between that, for the IPO.
Yeah.
And our focus is to utilize that fund for solar, implementation of solar energy, because that is our focus, is to make it sustainable, company in terms of energy. And also we are going to use it for working capital because it is a highly working capital intensive business. And also some part we are going to use it for the R&D and development of new value added products. That is what our focus has been. Yeah.
Okay. Understood. Punitji, now since you said new products, I believe if you or Sanjay ji can help me in giving a little flavor, what are the new products the company has developed, or what are the R&D efforts which the company has made? If you could give us a small bird's eye view, that will really help us to understand you better.
Sure. So at a if I give you a brief overview, that in the last couple of years' time, as Sanjay mentioned, that we have got a license for a very special kind of product. It's a D-type bags, which is chromic blue, which is a company based in US who gives a license to very few companies in the world. So we have got those kind of licenses to produce very high-end FIBC bags for the chemical industries like BASF and Dow Chemicals, things like companies like that. And along with that, we are also got a very interesting product in our portfolio. It's called MAP bags, which is actually used by companies like Olam nuts, and they use these kind of bags for packaging of pistachios, almonds, cashews, things like that, and rice, etc.
Okay.
So along with that, we are also moving at a group level to a sustainable kind of packaging business. So we are also focusing a lot because that is the modern trend, is that we have to focus on sustainable packaging products. So as at a group level, we have also ventured into a joint venture company with a Brazilian company, where we are going to produce FIBC bags made out of recycled PET bottles. So
Oh.
which is the first plant, which will be the first plant in the world, in India, sorry. It's going to be
Yeah.
second plant in the world, but first plant in India. So
Oh.
that is this is the kind of product that we are doing the development at a group level, as well as within the BulkCorp international company.
Oh, no, I think very nicely told by you. Sanjay ji, now after hearing Puneet ji on the IPO, kind of objectives, where the money will be spent, I want to understand for this solar, kind of power plant, solar, for solar purpose, we are spending some money. Will this actually lead to, our operating margins improving? I mean, without giving numbers, Sanjay ji, will this lead to a little reduction in power cost for us? Because that every penny saved is a penny earned. So typically I want to understand that will this lead to savings, and when will this entire solar initiation effort actually get implemented? I mean, is it going to happen in FY25, or will we have to wait for the benefits to get in actual numbers by FY26? If you could please tell us.
Well, to answer your first question, it will definitely help us to reduce the cost. As we are working on it's a cost kind of derivative companies, you have a lot of cost involved in process. So definitely it is going to help us. The solar project is already in the process, and I think it will be finished within this financial year.
Okay, okay, fine. Very good. And Sanjay ji, now in terms of the operating capacity, currently what capacity utilization are we operating at? Will we require a little more capacity in future to cater to the demand of new customers, existing customers? Sir, are we adequately positioned on the capacity, or will we have to add some capacity going ahead?
Looking at the global demand and the scenes now in the year, we definitely have to add some capacity. Currently, we are running somewhere around 80-90%. But we definitely have to keep adding the capacity as per the global demand.
Okay, okay. No, understood. Sanjay ji, I was also seeing one thing that, regularly, steadily, I think asset additions have been happening at our company. Last year also, I think 1.75 crores was added. Then again, there's a good amount of capital work in progress, which will again get, capitalized. So does this business require a lot of fixed asset investment, or is it a working capital intensive business? If you could just tell us your thought process on the overall business model as such.
About the working capital.
Yeah, please.
So, sorry, yeah. So our normal it's around 2 months, for the working capital.
Okay, so basically 2 months is for working capital, both for the domestic as well as for the export segment, or is it slightly elongated for the export market? That's what I wanted to understand.
So roughly around 2 months, on an average, that comes to both domestic and export.
Okay, fine. And typically, when you tackle any new customer, I mean, do you accept any LC, or do you have to give any bank guarantee? Are these, kind of conditions kind of a must? Because you obviously, I understand you must be, tackling existing customers plus, when a new customer comes in, do you normally take this precaution that you take a bank guarantee, or maybe, some advance, so that, the relationship starts off on a very small level, and then gradually, once the trust is built, then I think it becomes normal business. So ऐसे धंधे में हमारा होता है.
So, and on that basis, we start the.
Can you please answer again, Puneet ji, because
Hello?
the voice was distorted. Please.
Sure. So basically, what we do is when we start a new customer, we always either take an advance payment from them, or we ask them to open an LC just to safeguard ourselves. And once we build relationship after a couple of years' time, then we look at their credit ratings with the proper, agencies, and on that basis we give them credit. And then we also take a insurance against those companies where we give credits through ECGC kind of policies.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Puneet ji, last question now for today, which is very critical. We ask all the promoters, like, we have all seen COVID, and, the kind of effects what COVID had. Tell me one thing, sir, what is the major risk factor in our business? हमारे धंधे में सबसे बड़ा risk क्या है? And how have we managed to mitigate this risk optimally for such a long time? So if you could share your thoughts on this.
Sure. So I would say in the major risk that we see in terms of any kind of business is the instability of the government in different countries, because we are mainly into export market. So if there is any kind of instability or recession hits any country, then our business also gets impacted. But fortunately, we are spread across globally in different countries, so we don't foresee that the entire world is going to face the global recession together. That is something which is one in million,
Yeah.
years could happen.
Okay.
So in that perspective, we are pretty much covered in terms of if one country goes down, other countries we already have our presence. So we
Okay.
are already keep, building our portfolio or any other factors in one country.
Okay. So basically, otherwise, there is no other major risk factor. The business is growing quite well. And obviously, the product has now been accepted globally. So there are no major headwinds except this factor, which can be a kind of a risk factor. So, Puneet ji, thank you very much. Sanjay ji, thank you to you also. I think it was a very small discussion, but we could, understand your company's operations in a much better way. So please, sir, accept my best wishes to you, your entire management team, and best wishes for a forthcoming public issue also. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Avinash. Thank you for taking out time for us.
Thank
Thank you very much.